So we're live, we have action. Welcome everybody here. Today is, what day are we? Monday. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. And today is day 8 of the 14-day Go Live video challenge that I am participating in. Welcome to my community where I create a healthier you. This is my health space. And this is a safe space that you can discuss anything you wish with me, and it won't go any further than this. So feel free to jump in the conversation. Right up here is a little link. It says StreamYard. You may just have to give it permission here to see your profile picture, and then you can jump into conversation with my special guest today, and we will have a little bit of fun here. So we're going to talk about who we really are, and I'm bringing up my special guest here on this dual live. Is what we've been challenged with in the video challenge here that I'm participating in with Helen Martin. And that's actually how both of us met each other. This is Brady, and she is a coach for me now and a mentor and a friend, and she kind of introduced me to Helen Martin. So I have to say kudos to her, because she's the one that brought actually Helen and us together. So I'm just going to pull up my comments here at the side here. Oh, she's walking around doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yay!
Yay! Checking on the kids.
I'm walking around. I'm gonna make sure my daughter's phone is off. Checking on the kids, making sure that all devices are shut off. My internet can be kind of wonky sometimes, so I'm making sure nobody's streaming when they don't have to be streaming. Yeah. Doing the mom duty. How's everybody doing?
The joys of having teenagers in the house, right? You don't have to worry about that for us, so that's kind of a different novelty.
Oh, yes.
So
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. So like I said, I was mentioning Brady and I met through Helen Martin, and we found out we had other kinds of connections, interests in health and fitness, and we actually lived in the same little community at one point, not at the same time, but she's there and now I'm not there. So that's how we kind of met. So I will let Brady explain a little bit more about herself on her own, and I just want to thank her very much for participating with me today and spending some of her valuable day with us. So take her away.
Absolutely. So thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I just adore you. Of course, you know that. And yeah, we met through crazy circumstances because everybody from all over the world is on Helen's page, and the fact that we were both from Swan Hills, which is like in the middle of nowhere, Alberta. I think we're definitely meant to be. So I know. The stars aligned and then we met. But yes, thank you for having me. So for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Brady Schonheider. I am a full-time online fitness coach, and I've been online coaching now for about 14 months. And I literally started just before COVID kind of hit and took everything over. So things happened for me very, very quickly, but I had started with Helen. She was one of the very first mentors that I ever started to follow, because I was looking at marketing myself. I had a home-based wellness company that I was working for, and I was just really struggling to get myself out there. And I participated in challenges like this, which really got me out of my comfort zone doing live. So now I go live 5 days a week on my personal page, and yeah.
And it's gone boom from
there. So I don't know if you can still hear me.
I said it all exploded from there.
Yeah, no, everything really took off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it really did.
So when did things really shift for you in your business and start exploding and going over the top? Even with people being shut down and losing their jobs with all this illness and stuff, you seem to be able to still make ground and make headway. Am I fluffing out? Are you still there?
That's the crazy. Here, I'm going to shut my, I might disappear for a second. Shut my Wi-Fi off.
Gotta love technology. Always some interesting stuff happening with technology.
Okay. I just
So
shut my
that's
internet off, so I'm just, my Wi-Fi can be kind of wonky, so I'll just go off of my data. So it should be a little bit better now. But yeah, things took off, and as did for a lot of online fitness coaches. Online fitness coaching has been relatively like available for about 6 years now, but it really started to take off in the last like couple of years. And then when COVID hit and the gym shut down in the first lockdown, there was people that needed help. There was people that were
yeah.
scared. There was people that needed one-on-one support, which, in my opinion, you don't really get the benefit of when you have a paid trainer in a gym. You would only see that trainer for your 3 or 4 sessions a week for your
Mhm.
45 minutes, and then it was goodbye, see you the next time. Whereas with with me, my clients literally have contact with me around the clock. I do try and take Saturdays off, but I still find, if somebody needs a question answered, or if I'm just onboarding them into my program and they need help with grocery shopping or they're finding equipment, then I'll definitely hop on the phone and do that. So there's lots of benefits to online fitness coaching, and it's been kind of stages of growth for me. So I was really scared to go out on my own in January, and COVID shut everything down in February, March. And then that's where things initially really took off for me. But paying for a mentor helped that tremendously. And then the other kind of like burst of growth that I had was when I did my first fitness competition. It really set me up as an authority, and gave me a lot of exposure to people that were watching my journey. Because, as Heather, you already know, because you're a client of mine and I'm really open and vulnerable about my story, I
Mhm.
wasn't always healthy. And so I share a lot about my struggles. And I'm 42 years old. I decided that, Kate, I really want to level up my business. And my mentor was like, do a show. If that's what you want to do, that is one of the best ways that you can, number one, learn. Number two, be a client and learn how to be coachable, which in turn makes you a better coach. And then the third was when I just finished my mastermind. It was a 5-month high level business course that I just took, and it changed not just my business, but it changed me as a person.
Yeah,
So
so you're being a
it's
product of your product basically by promoting yourself. You're doing the do and you're showing people that if I can do it, you can do it too. Like
absolutely,
I've had shit happen in my life. If I can do it and pull my head out of my rear, you
yep.
can too, right? That's yeah,
If I can fall
basically.
on my face and get myself
Mhm.
up and dust myself off, then so can you. The
Yeah.
world doesn't end when you make a mistake, or you feel like you've taken a few steps back. It's you learn and you grow, and that's not a bad thing. I encourage people to jump in and make mistakes, because that's the best way to learn.
What made you change with your mindset? How did you get your head in the right space to even think about even doing your own thing on your own, and especially in the times that were jeepers, maybe we should be hanging on to our money instead of investing in ourselves. What made you take that leap of faith?
It was what I was doing was not working. I had given myself a window, and I asked my husband to give me this window, and it wasn't working. And I was actually like a couple months before I reached out to Brian, I was going to apply for a job at the Super A grocery store, or
Mm-hmm.
at the school as a teacher assistant, whatever I could do, because I was tired. I was a hairstylist for the better part of 20 years, and I was tired of having people in my home. And I wanted to make more money. I wanted to make a bigger impact. I wanted to help a lot of people, and I felt like I needed to really just put myself out there and get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. And I had to work, and I have to work on my mindset absolutely every single day. So I was consuming alcohol 7 days a week, having a little pity party for myself on a regular basis. And I reached out and I asked for help. I asked for accountability, because if we don't have accountability, then it's just too easy to talk ourselves out of it when we're having a moment of insecurity. So that was the number one thing. I had to change my habits. I had to change my mindset. I had to ask for accountability. I started to get up at 5 a.m. and started to work, focus my first 2 hours of the day on setting myself up for success. And that
And
was
so
a big game changer.
You've mentioned that your first accountability buddy was your husband.
Mm-hmm.
He would say, phone me in the morning when you have your rear out of bed, phone me at 5 so that you could have a check-in. And I think we all need that. We need somebody to be accountable to, because it's way too easy to get in your own head and say, I'm just going back to bed. It's nice and warm here. I don't need to do.
Yeah. And sometimes spouses, as much as they love us and we love them, they suck at being accountability partners.
Yes.
They do, because it might work for a bit. And I mean, my husband's amazing. He's always pushed me to take better care of myself mentally and physically. But yeah, I mean, spouses sometimes it doesn't. So I had to go up to somebody that was really going to let me have it if I, let them down. So that was a big game changer for me. And it's just the hardest part is asking for help. Is just admitting to yourself that I suck at doing this on my own and I need a higher level of accountability.
Well, it's just like any.
And who I was surrounding myself with. Was another big thing too. I changed my circle of friends, not intentionally, but as I rose up and expected more from myself, then some people fell away and some other forms of support and new friendships were formed because I was on a different path.
Right. Right. And some people get upset with you because you're changing your life and you're going in a different pathway, but you have to do what's best for yourself, for your spouse, and for your family.
Yes.
For what you're going to feel good about and what you're going to be accountable to and where you want to be in the next 5 or 10 years. Do you want to be that person paying a whole bunch of money on medical bills because you haven't looked after your body, you haven't looked after your health? And we don't think about that when we're in our 20s and 30s, and then all of a sudden you hit your 40s and then your 50s and you're like, oh shit, like I can't have those French fries, or I can't drink 7 nights a week and expect to stay in a healthy form. And so we're like, the light bulb moment goes on.
If you want different results, you have to ask different questions. And that's am I okay with where I'm at? Is this good enough? And when you start to look at the people, you become the, common denominator amongst the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And it's if you take a look at your circle and if you're not really happy with where you're at, then maybe it's time to expand. You don't have to kick those people to the curb, but maybe spend less time with them and invest more time with other people that are, trying to level up as well.
We have some company here besides my hubby. We got Brianna here. Hello, Brianna.
Hi, Brianna.
Lovely to have you here tonight. And whoever's sitting in the background there too, that's fine that you're sitting there and watching. That's awesome. So some of the hurdles that you've had to come over, I'm sure they were difficult. And like you said, you had to stop playing that pity party for yourself. And you were very honest and real and raw in your group and pass along a lot of that knowledge to a lot of us. And that makes us more relatable to you because you're a real person. You're not this Barbie doll character that you see on social, whichever platform you follow. That is so unbelievable because they're always absolutely, everything looks so perfect and grand in every picture that they show. That you're going, what is it like when the camera's off, or what is it like when there's nobody to take a picture on? Are they really that person that they're putting out there, or are they somebody completely different?
Yeah.
So.
And that's not okay with me. You're who you truly are when nobody's watching you. So if that gives you an icky feeling in your stomach, then you need to make some different choices. Yeah. But hurdles that I've had lots of them. And I'm sure they're not over yet. The first one was financial. The big one was financial. When my husband didn't see the full big picture when I first started about online coaching, because he's one of the few rare individuals that didn't need motivation to go to the gym. That was always his therapy. That was always his
Hmm.
way of taking care of himself. Um, I, however, was not, and I knew a lot of people that were the same as me. So he didn't understand. And when I asked if I could invest a large chunk of money every single month for a
Yeah.
coach, he was not on board, and we
Yeah.
couldn't afford it. I had racked up debt. We had both racked up debt. That's what happens when you have a young family. And we had to sell our truck. Like, we had to make it work. That's how bad I wanted it, is you have to make some sacrifices. And we sold our brand new nice Dodge pickup truck, and we bought like
Ooh.
an older vehicle. Yeah, but I have my own little Jeep Renegade now. It was a few years old, and it was like, it was babied. So, and I actually love it way more than the truck. So, but we had to make some adjustments. If you want, if you want something bigger, then you kind of have to evaluate, where is your money going? How are you
Mhm.
spending it? Like, show me your bank account, and I'll show you where your priorities are. Like,
Right. Oh,
that's,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, when people
Exactly.
say I
And
can't
so many,
afford it, it's like, really? Really? How much are you
you got
spending on
Netflix
Starbucks every
going and
week?
Disney,
Oh
and you got
yeah.
the
Yeah.
fancy, what, $1,500 phones now, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
one of
So.
the first big sacrifices, that hurdle that we had to get over. But then once I started to make, like, and I had my nose in the books and on my laptop for months and months, just learning and
Mhm.
starting from square one. And I had to just about ignore my family for the first few months, just to, get things set up on track, because I had invested the money and I couldn't go back on it. Like, when you
Right.
set yourself up and you bet on yourself, then and you've invested, then it's harder to go backwards, right? So I had to make it go, and I had to prove him wrong. So, and I did. So now and
But
then same thing with the
that's a
mastermind.
pretty
It was,
big leap.
well, the mastermind was a big leap. That was a big investment, and that was another hurdle that we had to get over. And it was like, once I had finished level one, and I had done really, really, really well, then it was like, now I need to learn more. I can't stop here. I can't stay here. So that was another discussion that we had to have, and I won. And of course, and um,
You're not
and it,
competitive at all.
no, not at all. And then I did that. That was 5 months, but that was another big commitment. It was extremely stressful. It pushed me way far out of my comfort zone, and I probably put a lot on my plate because I did my fitness competition at the same time. I just went all in. In one year, I went in and I was as much of a sponge as I could possibly be, wherever I could afford to invest. I did it just to make it work, because, like you, like, there's a lot of people that are trying to make the same, impact, and you have to stand out. So if there's an opportunity to stand out in the crowd and offer something that isn't out there yet, or whatever, like, or people are asking for it, then, you kind of have to make a decision.
Well, and you have to pick the right mentorship to follow. They say that if you want to have $1 million mindset, then you need to surround yourself with people that have that income and follow them and model some of the things that they do. And like you said, be a sponge and take all
Mhm.
that in, take all that knowledge in, because they have gone over some of those hurdles that you might not have to go
Mhm.
over and learn so much. And Brianna's saying you're an amazing coach, B. So there you go.
Aw, thank
That's
you.
nice. Yeah,
Aw,
she is an amazing coach. So I just wanted to close off our little discussion here with a couple rapid fire questions that you don't know that I'm
you
going to ask
betcha.
you.
Oh man, here we go. Bring it on, lady.
Put you on the spot.
That's
If
okay.
you could live anywhere, where would it be and why?
I would go back to Australia.
Really
I would. Yeah, I
nice,
would.
nice.
I I would miss the winter here. I traveled over there for a year, and I think maybe that's kind of what attracted me towards Helen. Was I've always missed Australia. I dream about it all the time. I would probably come back here at Christmas time, because I would miss the Canadian winters. That's the
For sure.
only at Christmas time. That's the only time I got really homesick. The year I was gone was at Christmas, because
So
I
were you all over Australia, or were you in one particular area? Because I mean, it's as big as Canada. It's huge.
Yeah,
So it has
no,
all different, yeah.
I thought we did a good chunk of the East Coast, but when you actually go back and look at it on a map and you're like, really didn't go that far, but I thought we did really good. We did travel around. We started off in Brisbane. We started off and then went to Surfers Paradise. And then we kind of made our way up as far as Cairns and then looped back down and went as far as Sydney. But it was amazing. The people there were incredible. And then we hopped over to New Zealand. So, yeah, that would be my second one. I
Oh,
would live
cool.
in New Zealand because New Zealand was so amazing. Yeah.
So number 2, if you could go back in time, what century or era would you go to?
Ooh, I think I would probably go back to like the 50s or 60s. Yeah. Just I think family was a big focus. Just values. I loved, the fact that just socialization and I loved the music. I don't know. I think that's what I would. I
That's
mean, I
pretty
think that
cool.
there's been ups and downs in all eras, but yeah, the 50s and 60s I think would have been a really neat time. Dances, like the socials and stuff like that, I think is what I
And
think would
women
be
had a few
pretty
rights
neat.
by then already, so you weren't kind of
Yes,
put in a box and expected to
yes.
do all those kinds of
Women
things.
could
So ultimate,
women could
oh,
work
sorry, go
and
ahead.
all that stuff. Yeah, no, women could
Ulti-
work and be strong and all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, yeah.
ultimate destination, vacation destination, hot or cold? Because you said you like snow and you like sun. So which would you go for? If you could only pick
I
one.
I'd go for hot. Yeah.
Hmm,
I'm not, I appreciate it, but then when I come back to cooler temperatures, then, I appreciate that, more. I lived in the shoe swap. If anybody knows where the shoe swap is
yeah,
in
blistering hot.
BC, it's like the tropical kind of, I believe, destination area for British Columbia. But I didn't always love the heat in the middle of the summer. We had a house with no air conditioning in it, and you kind of got everything that you needed to get done by 11 o'clock in the morning, and then you would
Oh,
get out of the
absolutely.
house and
Yeah,
go somewhere cold. So
go
when I
sit by
go
the
back
lake.
now, I definitely enjoy it. Yeah, and we lived like on the lake, so I miss the water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you could do any job, would you still be an entrepreneur and
Yes.
work from home, or would you do something else?
No,
You feel me?
I would still be doing exactly what I'm doing. I've always had that coach um, mindset. Even when I was a teenager, I was counseling my friends. I was doing their hair and their makeup to make them feel, look and feel better.
I look at
I was, yeah, coaching them in their relationships and how to like stand up to their asshole boyfriends. And yeah, I think I stepped into the direction that I was always meant to be in. I would
So
just do it for free.
Paul says Happy International Women's Day,
Thank you, Paul.
and then
And
he
to you
says
as well, Heather.
if he could get in a time machine, he'd go back to see Woodstock. Yeah, that would be that
Yes.
that would have been a rush for sure.
Yes. I
Yeah,
agree. That would have been amazing.
yeah.
Very much so.
Well, I want to thank you again, Coach B, for being my guest today, and always appreciate everything that you do for me. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early for a workout.
Woo!
I've been up since 3:30 this morning, so
Oh, you're a
I'm still
warrior.
going.
That's what time Brian gets up, and I'm just like, you guys are
Well,
insane.
tomorrow I'm right now, but
Yeah,
I couldn't
catch
sleep.
up.
I couldn't sleep, so I thought, well, there's no point in me staying in bed. I'm just gonna feel like garbage, and I feel amazing right now. So just
Good.
got to
You
go
look
eat,
amazing.
and
Good.
uh, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you very much again,
Okay.
Brady.
Thank you for having me, Heather.
You can stick around. We can talk after if you want, or you can jump off. It's okay. Bye bye to everybody. If you catch on the replay, let me know where you're coming in from, and I'll give you a shout out after the fact. Thanks, guys. Bye.